Hello everybody, and welcome to the final episode of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. It's bloody Monday. No, it's not. It's bloody Wednesday. Oh, I don't even know my days anymore because I'm so excited about this last episode of Witchlight. Jeez Louise. Everyone's here. We've got everyone. We've got everyone here for the final moments, and everything you've been doing is building up to this fucking final episode. So, you know what I'm saying? You've been through it all together, you lot. You know, let's do a, you know, last we left off, but let's cover a lot. So in hither, well, obviously you're all, you know, some of you came from a carnival, whatever. Who knows how it started? Go back and watch it.
We sure don't.
But in hither, you did a bunch of shit. You saved Sir Talavar from the summer court. You met Agden Longscarf and turned him away from his bullying ways. You got rid of Jingle Jangle's nightmares that were tormenting her. But in the process, lost our little fucking blade singer wizard Alar. Oof, jeez Louise. You've met Archie. You got fucking Clapperclaw in Downfall. You got his head back. You fucking, you know, did all that bullywug nobility shit. Eventually bringing down Bavlona's cottage and Downfall. Jeez Louise. You've gone through Thither. You've met the Lipoos family. You've experienced the redcap threat coming from angry Scabberth Nightshade and her child slavery business. You visited the Wayward Pool, where an agent of the League of Malevolence, by the way, who you've just murdered, was trying to kill Lamorna the Unicorn for a very important magical MacGuffin, the Unicorn Horn, which you've got possession of. Whey! You met Will of the Feywild and went on a mission to save all them bloody kids from Scabberth's toy-making business. You've even rescued Elidon, who's Lamorna's partner unicorn who had his horn nicked, which is the very horn that you've got, and he was turned into a rocking horse by Scabbertha. You know what I'm saying? You threw up all over that bitch's bedroom, but Will did perish in that effort. But you know what? I've got no doubt that his legacy might live on nonetheless. But, you went to Yon. You fucking took down all three hags and the entire of Castle Motherhorn in that whole situation, meeting Gleam in the process. Hey, Felix rocks up back again on a massive flaming horse. Jeez Louise. And my goodness me, did you bring peace to the darkest parts of Prismere? I'm telling you now, what heroes you are to this realm. But wait, you've got to this castle, and you're like, bitch, that fucking fairy godmother that did something nice for me so long ago lives here. But there's been clues. Clues that she might not be who she says she is. Well, in none other than Baba Yaga's own hut herself, you found a letter that was from Grazd, who Felix has, you know, heard about, saying about, oh, bloody Nora, where's our Tasha, mother, all this lot. Hey, and you know that he's been dating her. I'm telling you now. And it must be Zybilna, because there's a bunch of reasons why. And basically what I'm going to do is give you a bunch of information as to like what you're going to find in the castle, because right now, well, let's just say right now we start at the scene where Clapperclaw, the little fucking scarecrow boy you met all that long time ago, is now being resurrected into his full child self, his little halfling child self. And he's obviously like, you know, hugging everyone around the room, etc. And all that stuff. And it's all very nice and wholesome. And Octavia's looking panicked. I think that, I'll tell you now, Octavia looks at Archie and she's like stunned by all this craziness going on. She's you know, she got fair fucked up, didn't she? And she just looks at you, and you're gonna have to come close to that microphone.
She did a little bit.
Yeah, she did. And she goes, like, exasperated, like, with all the emotion pent up in her. She just says, I can't do this anymore. I actually, like, I can't do this. And she looks fucking so ridiculously upset at the whole everything. Like, everything she's just experienced, you feel as though it's literally, like, been traumatic.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not. I can't do this anymore. Is it over?
think so.
Yeah, but like everything you need to do. Like I don't want to do this. I don't want to like. You know, I can't shoot like half the time. If it was at like a deer or something like a rabbit, then fine, but like I can't do this.
Well, I mean, you don't have to anymore. We've saved the Feywild. Well, this part of it, Prismeer, almost. Um, we're at the finish line.
And what do we do then?
Whatever we want, I suppose. Right?
Will you not like gonna want to like do something more? Like, is this what you do?
Archie looks uncertain. Like she's not sure what she plans to do.
She says, because like if this is like your life and like this is what you want to do with your life and like go around and like help people and you know maybe be like a knight or something. I mean, I love that, but I couldn't do the same. I'm not cut out for this, and I don't want to be. But I don't want to like hold you back because I love you.
Well, I'd never make you do anything you didn't want to. I mean, what do you want? I know you don't want to,
What do I want? And she like looks around the room of blood and fucking like feelings, and she's like, I just want to like get into like a bath of like a bubble bath, and like I want to like get into a nice fluffy towel and then sit down and like maybe like eat some cupcakes and like maybe go to the theater and like go hunting every now and then or whatever.
Archie smiles. Well, I guess we better get you a bath.
I'd love a bath. She just gives you a hug. Meanwhile, fucking Milo's dancing about the room, showing off his new body.
Oh, bless it.
And he's like, all right, well, what's next? Because I'm ready to go, and I've got my little, well, they are little muscles now, but I got them. Look. And he's going to just, like, flex his little, like, 9-year-old halfling child muscles at you, Holland.
Oh.
He looks much less effective than he's ever been.
Holland will try to arm wrestle him and, like, lose.
Oh, that's so cute. And he's like, ha, see? I'm just ready to go whenever, you know? And he starts like doof 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 like little boxing fists. Gleam's been looking at Octavia's little breakdown with like a little smile on her face, just sort of a smile of understanding, because she's like, you can tell that if you were listening to a conversation they had in a cave a long time ago, it'd be Gleam saying like, you don't have to pretend to be something you're not, and Octavia thinking that she has to. But Gleam's sort of happy that Octavia's admitted it, like what she really wants out loud. And it's working out for her, so that's a great thing. So you see the positivity on Gleam's face. And she turns around to Felix and she says, you know, I'd quite like to go everywhere with you. If you're the kind of person who has this sort of lifestyle, then count me in, if that's all right.
Really?
Well, I'd have to tell my sister where to shove it, but yes.
We can work that out. I mean, there'll be a lot less bloodshed and stuff like that, hopefully, but I would love for you to come with me.
That's everything to me, because it's one of those things where, yes, I was like, oh, I can't wait to get my sister back and we can be in our little, travelling acrobatic, well, we're Witchlight Carnival, weren't we? Acrobatic troupe thing, but I'm kind of sick of being bossed around by her and I want to be free. And she looks at you and she's like, and you just make me feel free.
Well, there's nothing more free than travelling to all the different planes and places and stuff like that, so yeah, you can come with me.
She's just gonna hug you. And when she's hugging you, she's just gonna pull her head back and just give you a little kiss on the cheek.
Oh, well, Felix is the colour of that pink ham face paint. Yeah, I don't. Love it. Cute. They're cute.
And the camera pans around to Flopsy. And you're watching all this.
Flopsy's just taking it all in. He's moved to the wall of the room, almost as if he's just kind of surveying how everyone's doing. And he's just smiling to himself as everyone takes a breath after what's happened and gets stuff off their chest. I never really had the drive to make a family of my own. Just a strange thing to come out with, I know, but I think the danger's over. And if there is any danger, of course, Clapperclaw, you're going in first.
That's right.
I guess what I was thinking was just, I never planned to make a family, but I found it along the way. I'm proud of every single person in this room.
Clapperclaw just goes, yes! And like does a little fist bump. Like he's achieved it.
I mean, I know we all haven't grown physically as much. It's been a couple of days or weeks, or it all seems to muddle together in the end. But every person here has grown into something much more than I could have ever have hoped for all of us. I just wanted to say that thank you for always being there. Flopsy's gonna put his hand in the middle, like it's everyone puts their hands together kind of thing.
Power Rangers shit.
We only have the last bit to go. Let's finish this off, as well as we've done the rest.
Yeah, Clapperclaw's over and Gloom all leaning. Not even
Let's
hanging,
go,
guys.
with the 3 people that have gone in.
Come on, guys, he's fucking leaving Flopsy hanging.
Oh, go on, I won't leave Flopsy hanging. I look to Octavia, and I'm like, here's to the last stretch, right? Put my hand in. I think we're doing that thing where you put your hands in.
Yeah, when you put your hand in, like Octavia, her hand's already in there, and you put your hand on hers. And when you do, you see the wish gem that you're wearing suddenly blink out, and she just looks at you like a little side smile at you, and sort of moves her hand so she can feel yours. So she's holding your hand on top of the whole situation. Clapperclaw's got weirdly sweaty hands for a child. It's just slathering around on there. Yeah, Gleam's really smooth, nice moon elf hands. Holland's got a paw just clapped in there. Felix. Felix's dainty little hand comes in. And you all set off around this castle to find out more information. Now, I'm just going to tell you. So if we look at the map and go down... we're not dragging tokens or anything like that. I'm just going to show you the areas. If you go down to the bottom right corner of the castle, just underneath the beanstalk on the map that you're on, you'll see that there is a room with blue circles in it. That's a costume room. The room contains 8 wooden mannequins in tall glass cases. Each mannequin wears a different outfit. So it's a shitload of clothes, basically. So if you want to nick them, you can have them. Oh, but wait. These outfits have... let's have a look here. Do. The following clues can... Wait, okay. You see stitched into the collar of a cape size for a child. The name Natasha. You also notice that Flopsy say when you have a look at it, you recognise Tasha's costume from the way that the mannequin was dressed in that. You know what I'm saying? And you also recognise another of Igvil's costumes, which you let's have a look here, which you saw in the portrait. So all of her outfits are laid out on show. And that name, Natasha, is right there. In the lower area here, there are a bunch of, like, baby cradles. Now, this is where it gets a bit interesting. Whew. So, in these baby cradles, right, there's like a... Well, first of all, attached to them all is like a 3-foot-long curved wooden pole with a mobile dangling off of it, and the ornaments that twist over the top of these... cradles look like a triangular piece of white wood with an elvish letter carved onto it, and all of those letters spell out Zybilna, right? I'm telling you now. And they all seem to be keeping these little creatures that are in these cots sort of asleep and in some sort of like a subdued state, and the creatures look like this, right? When I see the fucking... Oh, come on, please. Where's the picture?
Oh, please.
There we go.
The picture.
Baby versions of these things. I'll give you the whole character sheet, I think, by accident, but whatever, it doesn't matter. These
aren't they cute?
Demon creatures, right? But in baby form, with like dummies in and everything. You know, they're like, you know, but they're all frozen. And I'm telling you now, this is a stretch. So Wizards of the Coast, thanks, but no thanks. Basically, the only way to get the information in this room is just to make an insight check to just know the facts, and that's it. There's no other, like, anything. But basically, these dretchers are manifestations of Zybilna's darkest emotions. So you could see, like, on their face, like, one of them looks really annoyed, like, one of them looks like it's full of rage, like it's, like, having a snory nightmare. One of them's, like, full of loathing, disgust, disdain, maliciousness, envy, and jealousy, right? So, literally...
How would anyone think to do that?
Exactly. But that's the only way to ascertain this information, is just by looking at them very hard. Yes.
Well, I passed the insight check, so I can tell you all that these are very emotional creatures.
Exactly.
Almost like they're manifestations of emotions.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like someone's tried to bury those parts of themselves in these demonic creatures. You also find a library, and this is the final place of true exposition. You find a library with a shitload of books in it, which all pertain to, obviously, Tasha, Igvilv, and Zybilna all being the same person, but also with a couple of extra bits and bats. You know that let's have a look here. There's a book called The Faceless Lord, which is Igvilv's private account of her many dealings with the demon prince of oozes and slimes, which she later updated and incorporated into a magnum opus, the Demonomicon of Igvilv. So these dretch creatures are demons. You can put 2 and 2 together, you know what I'm saying? She's using a demon knowledge, you know, to try and bury these parts of her, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's all you can sort of figure out. There's a lot of other stuff, like the politics of the 9 hells, etc. Big list of books there, but basically, that's what you find. And you can all reconvene. Let's have a look here. That's pretty much everything you need from this palace, by the way. And you can all reconvene. I'm just going to grab you all together. Where Zybilna is.
What an eclectic bunch of unrelated facts.
Literally. I'm just going to pop you all here. I'm going to just move some people around even though he's not, he's just standing there. He's not actually frozen. Let's see. I'll get rid of this dretch. Okay. I'm just gonna pop you next to the cauldron. Right, so you've got Gleam, Felix, Octavia. These guys just need to go away. Put them all over there, so they're out at way. And we could just start as though you're just approaching it now, like, so we'll hop back into a scene. You're approaching the cauldron now with all that information.
It's kind of weird that the lady in our box at the carnival is like in another box here. If you think about it.
That is kind of strange to think that she was there next to us the whole time.
Maybe she's got some like tabaxi in her. Like cats like to curl up in boxes.
Maybe we can ask her when we bring her back into time.
No.
So, does anyone know how we do this?
Maybe you've got to like say hither, thither, here and there.
Well, I'll give it a go. Hither, thither, here and there. Get out of this here cauldron there.
Did it work?
Oh.
Jinx, make a wish.
Wait, you mean you guys can't see her? It's her, it's Zybilna.
Where? She's still in the cauldron?
No, she's here. Look. Holland just points to empty space.
Archie looks in the cauldron. But she's in the cauldron.
Ah.
Archie, you should have seen the look on our faces.
Yes.
You got me.
I sure did.
Oh, crikey.
Look, I don't want to sound, too egotistical. I'm not a big top performer or anything, but I think I was onto something before. About, like, the true names and stuff.
The true names. So, it all depends on who we want to get out of here, I suppose.
Yeah.
She seems to be three wrapped into one. So if we were to say Igvilv, would we get the evil one out?
Wait, what do you mean she's three attached into one? Assume that I'm dumb. Explain the plot.
It's just like the lion said upstairs. I can't remember what her actual species is called. But I thought
Alania.
Zybilna and Igvilv were working together. But
Right.
look around, it all seems too close together. Everything overlaps too much. I don't think this is like us working as a team. I think the team is one.
Like your shadows.
Like the shadows, I guess, yes. Well, think about it. The very hat that I'm wearing, I picked it up because it seemed to call to me. I think I've seen it before, like you said, the box at the carnival. It looks similar, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, she has that little hat on.
So if Zybilna has Tasha's hat, and Tasha and Zybilna have Igvil's clothes, have her writings, everything else, doesn't it stand to reason that the same person can wear three masks?
Wait, do you mean that Igvilv, Zybilna, and Box Lady are the same person?
Well, I didn't think it to begin with, but I kind of think it now.
So, we don't want the hag version. We want the lady in the box is always laughing. That's like her thing. So I guess we'd quite like her.
Well, don't we want to free Zybilna? Wait, but if
We do, but if it's a...
Zybilna-
sorry, go on.
Well, I'm just saying, if they're like all the same person, does that mean that she's like secretly a hag?
Not even secretly.
Right.
Well, I guess that's a risk we're gonna have to take.
Well, you do what you need to do.
Well, like, which one did she have first, you know?
She's trying to hide the evil side of herself. So Igvild came before Zybilna. It just depends on whether Tasha came before Igvild.
Well, no one's
I
born evil.
Well, she's always been Zybilna while she's been Zybilna, right? So we can say Zybilna definitely came last.
Yes. I suppose Tasha it is?
Is Tasha like a real name, though?
Flopsy
Like-
looks over to Clapperclaw and just connects things for a second. Her real name would have been when she was a child, right? Can you imagine a little sprog running around calling itself Igvild?
Maybe.
I mean, maybe, but I don't think other people would call her that.
Right.
I think if a little
like-
child...
It's like my name. I used to be called Artemis Blah,
Mhm.
but then I shortened it. Oh, so maybe she's got a longer name. Tashamus?
Tasha Empreg.
Oh no, not this again.
Hey, back at it again with the Empreg. We can't go last session without it. Hey.
Maybe it's like Palasha.
That's a good point.
Oh,
There are
that's so
quite a few
cute.
names that end in Asha.
That's so cute.
Like Sasha.
We could just try some of them.
Sasquatcha.
Miranda.
Bratasha.
Mustachia.
Mustachia question.
What?
Got you.
Oh,
You should have seen. I mean, actually, sort of like tries to see any sort of feature on Holland. Shadowy self.
you should have seen the look on my face if you could.
Right. Gleamasha. Miloasha. Octaviasha. Flopsyasha. Holasha. Archasha.
This has
Felasha.
been full of so many coincidences, but if any of these work, then I will genuinely be shocked.
Wow, Archie, you're really rolling a Nat One on this. Hey,
Hey,
what about Natasha?
Natasha. What? Hey.
Lear just called that to me. I don't know. Well, okay.
Maybe it's like divine intervention.
Okay.
She's
Thanks,
got on
Lyra.
top of us.
Lirasha.
Learasha.
Yeah. I'll give a little bibbity bobbity boop on the cauldron and say, Natasha.
Hey. I'll tell you now for Brasserfish. When that unicorn horn's tip touches even just the sleeve of Zybilna, this woman who quite tall, but still all cramped up in this cauldron like a little baby in the fetus position. Was that the right one? Fetal position. Phew, I'll tell you now. Her long white hair sort of trailing down her back. You see that her hands are like to her face, like as though cradling something in her arms. There's nothing there. It's just the emptiness inside. Her eyes are closed, scrunched up into a crying position. Her mouth's a bit ugly when she's crying, you know what I'm saying? She does have that chicken foot tattoo on her cheek. And the very touch makes her shoulders rustle with sobbing energy as she just continues crying in this fucking cauldron. And you see this like wave burst from her, like as she lets out like a proper big like it just bursts around from the cauldron outwards all around the fucking castle, spilling out this fucking just deeply sad energy, and it all hits everyone with this wave of force that knocks them back a little bit. Some people like wipe a quick unknown tear out of their eye, like how the fuck did that get there? But you see literally your bubbles just scattering into the wind. You see a couple of the goblins be like the fairies that are pixies that are knocking about sort of just start flitting around in the normal like sort of like gossiping way, but all suddenly have this weird moment. The rest of them that are all knocking about, the court of people that are there, are just, you just see them all wake up and everything. You hear noise in, like, corridors and things. You hear a screech of a giant owl, and suddenly, like, feeling of like, there's a breeze in this place. The air feels a little bit fresher. The hums and noises of, like, life are all alive. You hear people breathing. You can imagine a knight falls from a tower, but is attached with a rope, and thankfully gets caught swinging on this bridge. But if you were there, you would hear a slight clang as he does actually hit the ground, because this is a fake endless abyss. You hear Dunfagale shouting at the fucking pixies like, come on, get a move on with my next fucking cake and everything, because now they're all active again. They're re-icing nothing because the fucking plate's gone, so the icing just drops out into the kitchen. You can hear the sort of distant whinnying of the glass pegasi that carry the, fucking Tasha's whip. But as you look into that cauldron, you just see her fucking shoulders huddling. She holds her arms tighter to her, like, crying.
Oh, hey.
She looks up towards you. She's like, what do you want?
Well, we came, to see what's up. Would you like a flower?
She's like, just join the rest of the queue. I'm not ready today.
What queue? What?
You look around at the rest of the people that have obviously been stamping their feet waiting for her.
Well, whatever,
Do you
We're not
help
here.
out of this cauldron?
She's like, no, leave me to my crying in this cauldron. You get from this that she has no idea what the fuck has happened. Like, she's literally like immediately in the state she was when she was frozen.
You've been in there for like a really long time.
I know, but I just need more time to just get this feeling out of me. And she's like, she just thinks that you mean like she's been crying in there a bit, like everyone's waiting on you. You know what I'm saying?
Like long enough that Prismere fell and then was restored, and
Right, and your three
like-
evil sisters took over.
yeah.
She immediately like sits up straight and her head pops out of the fucking cauldron like she's like a gopher or like whack-a-mole style. And she's like, Prismere has fallen?
Not anymore. We put it back.
She like looks around the place. The destruction that's been caused by the Jabberwock moving around in here, etc., is crazy, you know what I mean? Like, she just takes a big look around this fucking war zone of a castle. Everyone else who's just stood there sort of just gives a little shrug, because they were also frozen, so they don't have a fuck what's gone on either. And she's like, how did I let it get this way? She, like, looks at you all. Wait, what's going on? Well, you all did what? She just looks so fucking confused.
Well, the hags were threatening our carnival, so we went to go deal with them, and then realized that you were, like, frozen in here, so they just went ham and, like, split up Prismere, and they may have died along the way.
Wait,
but-
what do you mean, the hags? The hags? She looks at you like, do you mean my sisters?
Bitter End, Slackjaw, Lorna, and
Oh, fucking hell. Oh no, what have they been up to? They keep trying to give me advice of how to run Prismere, but she just, like, does a little ugly face. What have they done now?
they like froze time. I mean, I guess you didn't know because you were like frozen in time, but they froze time, and it took us like an entire fortnight, at least, to sort of sort things out.
She's like, oof. An entire fortnight, that could be decades on the material plane. And she, like, looks really panicked, and she's like, oh shit, my fucking warlocks. And then she pulls her eyes back in her head for a little minute, so you see, like, she's connected to some higher fucking plane of being, just suddenly. And, like, she just stays like that for just a little second, and then, like, shakes it off, and she's like, oh, they'll be okay now, I think. Oof. Jeez. She, like, looks around, and she says, well, if you've done me a great thing, and wow, that's you can tell she's doing this is to be like, oh shit, yeah, I need to be good, sort of attitude. And she's like, well, hello, I am your fairy godmother.
Archie smiles at that.
And I would like to give you, what does fairy godmothers do again? A wish, that's it. A wish. Oh, how about a wish each? You see that, like, she's got a tear literally rolling down her face, like, just dragging over that fucking chicken's foot tattoo, as she's trying to pull herself together for this.
We don't need a reward. We were, you visited us when we were younger, and you stopped me from getting picked on. So now we just wanted to stop you getting picked on.
She, like, looks at you, and, like, there's a moment where her face just sort of drops into, like, a sudden understanding of, like, innocence right in front of her, like, just innocent kindness, or doing things for goodwill, you know. And she says, she just looks at you, and she's like, oh, stop, that is just too cute, look at you. And she, like, goes up to you, and she's like, oh, you're just a little thing, and, like, starts, like, playing with your ears and stuff like that. You can tell she's still deflected a little bit. It's very clear on the fact that her eyes are giving away a lot about her. And she says, oh, well, if only everyone could be just like you. And there's a little tiny bit of jealousy in there.
Yeah, Archie sort of smells sort of jealous, I guess.
Mm.
And she's like, hey, don't forget who you are. Whips out a streaky piece of paper. That says, I love you are good.
Oh, wow, you whipped that out right in front of her.
Yeah.
She
Well,
literally
give it to her.
immediately, her eyes go dark, like fucking Bilbo Baggins style, fucking, you know what I mean? She immediately snaps to you, snatches it out of your hand, and she's like, where did you get this?
I found it in, like, a little cottage.
She steals herself, swallows a little bit, pushes that feeling away of, like, pure anger, and she, like, smiles a little bit uncanny at you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to go, like, rooting through your things.
No, it's okay. You have to do many things to be, to save my palace and things. You've probably been through lots of different trials and tribulations and places in Prismia. You went through the fairy circles, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't know. You didn't know where they would go. And she's like, oh, I really should have put them somewhere better.
If there was like a rule that says you're not allowed, I didn't know. I haven't been here.
It's
Well,
okay, it's okay. She's trying to push down the feeling of being really angry at and that. But she looks down at the paper and looks at it, and she says to Flopsy, I think it was, who said, "You say that my sisters were threatening the carnival."
It was Holland that said that, but yes, they
Oh,
were.
sorry.
I hope you don't see this as us snooping through your personal business, but we did see the letter there, and I also saw the blueprints. If you're worried about this person that the letters are to and from, we know where they are, if that helps you out.
You know where Isolde is?
Yes.
I know where Isolde is. She's at the fucking Shadowfell carnival.
The things have changed while you were frozen. Your sisters threatened our carnival. We are from the Witchlight carnival, if you can't tell from the look of us two. Well, maybe not the look of Holland anymore, but it used to be run by Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. But the hags have confused everything. We've gone and retrieved Witch and Light from the Shadowfell carnival, and your sisters have placed Isolde in charge of Witchlight.
She's back at my carnival?
Well, from the blueprints, I guess it is your carnival, yes.
She... Oh.
We're going back there after this, to take Mr. Witch and Mr. Light back.
I need to go there now. What, have you seen her? Have you met her? Has she said anything about me?
We haven't been back there since we've been trying to solve the Prismia situation.
So she is back in my carnival and has no idea why.
As far as I'm aware, she would know about the contract between the hags, and I suppose she has an inkling, but maybe she doesn't fully know, no.
She looks at you. She just nods at you. And then she just stares off for a while. And you can see there's some serious thoughts running through her head. If anyone had detect thoughts right now, it would be interesting. But she just stares off for a little bit, and then she just sort of shakes out of it. And she says, "Well, nevertheless, if you you have been all such a good help to me. She's obviously putting all this shit on. She's just thinking of what would a fairy godmother say, but not really pulling it off well at all. She says, please allow me to at least bestow upon you something that you want. It might be a good idea to let someone have something they want every now and then." It's a shame I don't have the power to give myself what I want, but I can... Go on. She just looks at you like, what do you need?
Anybody have any ideas of wishes that they'd like fulfilled?
Like, anything?
Well, I have the power to do 4. So she looks at you all. Except Gleam, Octavia, and Marlowe.
She just looks at the people in the front.
She just looks at the player characters.
She looks at the important people.
Yes.
The non-NPCs.
All the while she's offering these wishes, by the way, obviously there's something else in her mind massively. Like, she looks like she's doing it for, like, the sake of the fact that you could be anyone, you know what I mean? Like, oh, these are the heroes, they've come, like that's the vibe, you know? Yeah.
Archie, like, thinks for a moment. And, like, well, if anyone were to look at her...
Can you talk
she
louder?
looks like this. Yeah, if anyone were to, like, look at her, she looks like there's something she wants, and she looks like there's something else that she wants. And she's so very conflicted, she don't know what to do, blah blah blah. But after, like, a sort of moment of, like, thought, she almost, like, shakes her head and then turns to Zavilna and says, there's this unicorn, well, I guess he's like a toy unicorn at the moment, like a wooden rocking unicorn. But he used to be a unicorn. His name's Paladin.
I know I've Elidon. And she like squints her eyes at that, like, what do you mean toy rocking horse?
Yeah, Scabatha turned him into a toy rocking horse.
She just rolls her eyes at that, and like, she rolls her eyes, but a little smile is on the curve of her lip.
Maybe you could, like, fix him?
Oh, well, that would be simple. I doubt I could return his horn to him without the horn. She sees, obviously, that Holland still has it in his hand, so I would need it for the magic to, you know, make him fully whole again.
Oh, okay.
She's gonna hold it up, sort of, and focus all of her energy on it, and you see that the horn just sort of, like, evaporates, it, like, out of her hands, and, like, sort of floats up, like, falling dust particles up through, like, a shaft of light through the ceiling. And shakes out of it, and she says, "Done."
Thank you.
He will be at the Wayward Pool, which hopefully is still there.
It was last time I checked.
Excellent. I'm thinking about expanding my unicorn collection, actually, so... She looks at everyone else.
Yeah, she's just gonna do, like, a weird, awkward, like, is she supposed to bow? kind of bow. And then just sort of, like, hang out with Octavia.
Okay. As you sort of, like, turn to, like, walk away, she looks back at you, and she's like, you, that, if you could wish for anything, it was to save Lamona's partner, Elidon. That's, quite admirable.
Well, I gave my word. I had to keep it. I always keep my word.
Yeah, and thanks to you, they can be reunited. And she just, like, looks a bit put out, like,
oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah. She says, nevertheless, you must really care about unicorns.
I do. I care a lot about all animals, really. I was thinking about going vegetarian.
And you're a hero.
Archie blushes.
She says, I could do with someone to watch my new unicorn herd when I expand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I need to up my defenses as well. Maybe an army of unicorns. She, like, just, like, thinks about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Can you ride a unicorn?
Can I ride a unicorn? I grew up in a stable.
Well, then the choice is yours. Would you like to be, well, First of all, I should really know your name if I get a close look at you. She goes up to you and she's like, Artemis. Oh, you prefer Archie.
Right. Archie looks at Octavia like with a grin.
How about
Bill?
Sir Artemis or Sir Archie?
Sir Archie would be pretty cool.
Mm.
And hey, maybe we could even build like a little house near the lake. With,
And
like,
she says, oh yes, you'll get a lot of expenses working for me.
Archie like nudges Octavia.
Yeah. You see this little flicker of happy to do a deal vibe with her as she extends a hand out to shake it first. Do you shake her hand?
Give her a little handshake.
She goes, the deal is done. Get down on your knees.
What?
She's just gonna like hold a hand out over your shoulder if you kneel to her.
Archie's like, I guess Archie's seen Nightings before, and she presumes that's what's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, she sort of gets on one knee. She actually looks a little bit proud with the thought of being like some sort of unicorn knight.
She lifts her hand up and she's like, I, the Archfey of Prismia Zabilna, do dub thee, Sir Archie. And she just gives you a little tap on the head, and whew, nothing. It's not magic. It's literally just just that.
Archie looks like some magic's being cast on him.
Knight of the Unicorns. You can name the troop if you want to.
Oh, I'll think of a name for them.
She looks at
Sees if anyone else has a wish. Oh,
yeah.
Hell, we were doing the same
We're
thing.
doing the same thing. Aye. She goes, oh, they'll be waiting for you at the Wayward Pool, and points at you. She's gonna look at Felix. You got a wish up your sleeve?
Has he yet got a wish up his sleeve? Winging it is what we're about.
Hey.
So. Oh, fuck! Right. Let me channel my inner Felix for a second. Felix, what do you want?
Should we come back to you?
Shit.
Would you like somebody to store for you, Felix?
Yeah, go on. Andrew.
Come back.
There's obviously a lot swimming around Felix's head, so I had an idea. I've come to think of the people who have helped me along this journey and the people I've helped as family. There's been quite a few people that we've lost along the way, and one of the family didn't make it, and it's left another broken.
She recognises that feeling.
I wish that Jebek were here, back alive, just as she were before she passed.
She looks like she's sort of searching with her eyes. And like a sort of facial expressions pass through some like journey of like events of Jebek's, what happened to her and stuff like that. And then it's like she stops on one bit, and then you see that it feels like it's pulling back a little bit, like her eyebrows raise as as in her mind something's happening, like she's rewinding a bit of like physicality. And then after she's finished in a trance, she says, "It is done. She's peacefully asleep in the basement of my sister's castle." She says, "I have put a repose on her, so she will remain pristine," for want of a better word. She's asleep. Yeah.
Thank you. I suppose that's everything I have to ask for.
She glances at Felix or Holland.
Is Felix ready?
Felix?
Well. Felix's stomach's growling. Right. No. They're hungry and they're looking at like all these emotional moments that everyone's having and thinking, fuck, I can't wish for the sandwich that I want really bad right now. I'm gonna have to wish for something better. So, kind of begrudgingly. A little begrudgingly, Felix is like, well, I suppose I could do with having Flamehoof back. That would be nice. Just in good shape, good form, mind, please. Yeah.
She when you say Flamehoof, she like sort of smiles and like she squints at you a little bit as if to be like she's immediately like located who this thing is, and she like gives this face of like, how the fuck do you know Flamehoof? like you know what I mean? And she says Flamehoof. Oh. She's like, his name was like Brimstone. And she says, I didn't know he'd passed on. Oh, I'll bring him now. Roof. And he just canters out of the wall. Like that. There he is in all of his flaming glory.
Archie's gonna go, like, hang out with him.
He does a big, huge whinny, like, Isabella smiles at that and she says, oh, are you all, like, in touch with people from the Abyss? Just wondering. I just want to know how much you know.
No.
I just brought him back with me at some point.
But like
down the line, can't remember exactly when it was.
But seriously though, how much do you know?
About what?
She don't know that
I know a lot of things.
Yeah, she don't really know that what you know about her. You know what I mean? So seeing this horse from the abyss that you know that you're friends with, you know what I mean? She's like, who else do you know? You know what I'm saying? She actually, like, whilst waiting for you to answer, starts to get a little bit like, fucking Grazza didn't send you, did he? This is not going to be an ambush, is it? She like puts her hand up.
No, of course not. But there are some people I think he did send upstairs, right?
Yeah, in your bedroom.
Oh, for fuck's sake. He just wouldn't leave me alone. She's like, looks like she's added something mentally to her to-do list. And she just says, so how did you meet Flamehoof?
Well, I had this bad habit of disappearing, right? I'd just, like, end up in another plane somewhere, and it happened quite often, and one day I ended up right where Flamehoof was, and brought him back here with me, and that's how it happened.
She breathes a heavy sigh of relief, out loud and obviously and sarcastically, and then she like goes like, woof! She goes, well, thank God for that, you just all happened to be here. And she just like gets a bit of thing of like, you are all just like some fucking ragtag group of fucking weirdos that have just so happened to stumble upon this whole thing to save her. But then that quickly changes to, yeah, but they did it though, didn't they? So they must have something going on. She falls back into this like sort of respectful pause. She does the back head nod, you know, that like sup head nod at you. And she claps her hands and she's like, well, there's just one more then, Yes, what are you going to surprise me with now?
Oh,
Please don't wish for Grazit to be here.
ew, no, he sounds kind of lame.
Yes, he's the worst.
I'm a paladin of Lyra, so like bad times aren't really my vibe.
Oof, I wish I could relate.
Oh, queen.
Well, so do I. I wish that you could share my joy.
Oh, this is gonna change so much. Okay. Oh, wowzers, my brain. Right. She's immediately taken aback, of course. It's like when the fucking genie gets freed, you know what I'm saying? Like, she looks at you and she does that tilting of the head of like, really? Like that sort of look of like, as if someone would do that for her. And I'd like you to explain what Zabilna's feeling as she's gonna close her eyes and the wish will be to open up that, to let that in.
Okay. I think even once she closes her eyes, the shine off of Holland's Lyra pendant is still like burned into her eyelids, kind of thing. And the colours, the red, orange, yellow, just kind of begin to like spread and like seep into all corners of her mind. And she's just like, yeah, maybe I am okay. Like, opens her eyes and Holland's there just blinking at her, I guess, smiling.
Yeah,
and she's like, just nods her head.
Yeah, as it all like sort of floods into her, this like feeling of essentially of love for things how they are. Like, what else is joy other than, you know, feeling that positive thing from all these natural things that occur, all these things that just are the way of life, things that people, once they accept them, can have such a better time. And all this floods through her brain at once, and yeah, she opens her eyes, looks at you, and then you see she just sort of bites her lip, just like tilts her head back, and she just cries, like soft, this burst of loving like tears coming out, just trailing down her face, both parallel, and she just goes, "Oh, I love her so much." And I've been just terrible. And you see, the thing is, I like who I am now. You know, I'm kinder to people, and that's a great thing, right?
Of course.
I love that. That's just great. I really like that. I'm trying to do that. She all of this weird joy is like spilling through her head of like, wait a minute, what? Wait, huh? You know what I mean? Like, what? Her peripheral vision is definitely like blooming with orange sepia tone, sort of like weird shimmering nostalgia, and she's like, but like, well, if it's not enough, then it's not enough, right? I can just leave that alone, and I can just leave her alone. And she like looks like she's trying to absorb that thought, and she like breathes it in, and just like on the out just laughs a little, just like you know, like on the out breath, just another little like laugh. She like wipes her tears while smiling. What a strange relief. Oh, she like looks towards you, and she just says, "Thank you for that." She now looks as though she's all of that stress and tension's just gone out of her face. All of that worry, that looking off in the distance when not really looking at you because she's focused on something else. All of that is now focused down into like soft eyes looking at you. And it seems as though like any darkness in her face, any sort of like the streak of black in her hair just sort of like pulls up and her hair is entirely white now. You see her skin get a little bit more shiny and sort of marble-esque, brighter. Like there's a little glow around her now. Almost like she's ascended a little bit in Archfey territory.
Aww.
And breathes. She says, I know you all know about... Well... She looks over at the demon. If you know, then maybe this could be the me you talk about instead, perhaps?
You know, if we held everybody to their past mistakes, we'd have a lot less friends. We wouldn't be friends with... You can see into the story we've had along the way. Agden, the Brigands, even Dumfergale, who we fought next to. They wouldn't be friends of ours if we held them to what they'd done in the past. I don't think we have to be merely a collection of the things that we've done. I think it's who we are now and how we intend to be. This is the you that I've met, so it's the only you that I'll talk about.
She's been sort of nodding and listening. And she says, I think it's important to... And she like says... She like sits down on the plinth that you know, like just perches down really quickly. And she's like, I mean, do you think I should at least like talk to her? Or, you know, I mean, she's like, I don't feel it's sad. And she's like trying to work it through in her mind about her and stuff. But I've done a lot of weird stuff. She like looks over at you, but she's still got a little bit of a smile on, because what joy is doing to her is making her more joyful and positive, sure. But there's also a bit of mischievousness in Tasha herself, even if Zybilna is getting more solidified. It's like the mischievous will turn into whimsy rather than evil slaving of nations. But she's she's just a little touch of mischievousness. When she says I've done a lot of shit, but then the reality sort of hits her like a sledgehammer. And then she's like, I've done a lot of shit. And then it's like, fuck. I need to apologise. Like, sincerely. She looks over to you all and she says, okay, I need to get my palace in order. There's so much I have to do. There's so much I have to clean up. This just... I guess you guys have things that you need to do. You know, it's all... She, like, looks at the shit all that's left behind. But when you go to my carnival, could I maybe come with you?
I don't see any reason why not.
She just like a nice little head nod, as though to, you know, think of that as a deal. And as she sort of come into that, you see, you hear some noise coming down a corridor, and you hear a distant voice, as if it's like travelling through one of the corridors, and it's oh, come on, please, come on. Where's my bloody thing? Hey.
It's a goblin.
And oh, they're quite large, aren't they? You right? Come on, I'm telling you now. I was gonna put right. I'll put the you know, the spa pool that I want. I'll put that in. I'll call it the Blue Lagoon, and I'm gonna put it in this. You know what? That Jabberwock, he's not even here anymore. And she walks in through the door, and she's like, right. Holly, listen up. She goes, I'll get sorted on sweeping. Zabilna, you put kettle on. And Zabilna's like looks at you all, and then Sue, Baba Yaga, is like, oh, don't worry about it. They know. Natasha's, it's fine. Natasha, they know everything. Yeah, they do. They know everything. Yeah, they might have been elusive to you at time, but you know what? They know everything that you've been up to, really. So yeah, you better off thanking them. Has she give you something?
I certainly have.
Good. Oh, Holland, come here, you. She goes up. She pushes Marlo out of the way. Oh, come here. I'll tell you now.
Hi.
Hiya. She goes,
I
oh,
still got some of that brandy.
I've been having Blue Lagoons every day. I've not stopped thinking about it. I'm telling you. I would just telling Vasilisa, Vasilisa, get dustpan and brush. Vasilisa comes through with maid outfit on, like, sweeping everything up. Oh yeah, we're telling them just earlier. I'm gonna build in this castle, right? Zabilna, she's like, go and make that brew. Zabilna's like, all right, Mum, jeez, and like goes off to the kitchen. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna fit it with a spa, like a baths. You know, I'm gonna call it the Blue Lagoon over here, and all this. She shows you where she's gonna put the Blue Lagoon bathhouse area. She's like, I'm moving him. You know what? She just can't handle it, can she? She can't handle it. And so she's like, right, I know you've got to be getting on with some stuff. And I'll tell you now, oof, you're going to have a hard time getting them lot back in that carnival, I'll tell you that for free. She goes, you know what? She goes, well, that contract with my idea, so I'll just release it. It's fine. She just clicks her fingers.
She's the antagonist.
She was. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, when your daughter, so you know, gets interested in someone, you do all you can to keep him together, don't you? You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, when things get bad, you do everything you can to split him up as well. And she just does a little happy dance, and then she starts like vacuuming.
She's got a Dyson out.
She just whips out the Henry Hoover and gets on with it, really. And yes, you guys, now we're all focusing in on the things that we need to wrap up. For example, Felix has bamfing abilities, so we can go to the places where we need to go right quick and sort out all those loose ends. Right quick. So you're first on the list. We're going to go backwards. We're working backwards. We're going to go Yon, Motherhorn. Well, there's a few things that you need to do there. So I guess, Felix, with your bamfing abilities, you're going to bamf back to Motherhorn. And, I'll tell you now, we could put you there for the sake of mappage, you know what I'm saying?
Go on, then.
But, I'll tell you now, you've got a few things to do while you're at Motherhorn. Those things include, but are not limited to. Obviously, you need to bring Burley and Glister back to the Witchlight Carnival. Reunite Jabik and Al's there as well. Right. Let's have a little go back to Motherhorn. So we've got Al, Hurley, and Glister all in the middle. Oh, Skek's there too.
Oh, Flopsy. I didn't tell you because you were busy singing Milo back to life. I mean, Clapperclaw. But
I'm gonna paste you in, by the way.
but like, Al was totally hitting on me before.
What?
Isn't that like so ooh?
Yes, I mean, I'll support whatever you're interested in, Holland. But Al seems. Ew. How did you like that, Holland?
I think I yelled at him.
That makes sense.
I really thought he wasn't like that. You think you know a person and then they just... Like, isn't he like 40?
Yeah, and wifeless, no wonder.
Because he's only interested in young boys.
This is a weird Al over right here.
There's such weird Al lore.
Send him that now.
Hey.
Yes, Felix, I'd rather not really have Al try anything again, especially with Holland here and Clapperclaw and everyone. So if you could just take Al back home for us.
Right.
Where is he?
He seems to like that salt marsh place.
You bamf straight there with everyone, one at a time, but then you all walk round corner like a squad, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah. And you get there, and Al's just sat there reading a book called Green Dragons of Saltmarsh, and Skek's just flitting about as well. Al's the first person you come to, though, as you march in, Felix. You march up, and what are you doing? Al's like, oh, what ho?
Where are you from?
Oh, you're all back.
Where are you from? Where are you going home to? Splash Mountain or something?
Oh,
Do you want to go?
you have the ability to send me home? What luck!
It was always like that.
Oh, he closes his book, Green Dragons of Saltmarsh. He looks at the cover of Saltmarsh. He goes, Saltmarsh, baby, I'm coming home.
Oh, now he's flirting with Felix. I'll hold you back, Gleam.
Gleam's just laughing.
Felix just immediately bumps Al without Al being able to say goodbye or anything. He did say he was from Splash Mountain, didn't he?
Hey!
Or something like that.
Splash Mountain.
Right? Yeah? Okay. Cool. Anyway, he's home, safe, whatever. It's fine.
So you bamf him straight into a seat on Splash Mountain next to you. You just hold on to the rails and he's looking at you and you're looking at him and he's like, this is not Saltmarsh. And you're like, no, it's Disneyland, bitch.
Before he's able to finish that sentence, Felix is gone.
Leaves him at the tippity top of Splash Mountain.
No, he'd have a great time.
And Al is fucked off. Get out of here, Al. Ping. See you later.
Than if we were at Saltmarsh, that's for sure.
Gleam's gonna wander over to her sister, and she's gonna be like, "All right, it's time for us all to go. Hallie, Glister, we can all get back to the carnival. You can come with us for the time being, but we just need to hit a few places on the way. Just letting you know, Glister." Glister's like, "What? You've taken your fucking time, haven't you?" And then Gleam's just like, yeah, about all that. I'm not going to take your shit just anymore. This is where this ends for us. If you want to do a solo act, then that's fine. But, so you'd get as many, big applauses as when we were together, but whatever. She gives a little bit of a final bitch on her. And she goes, yes, I won't be around, and I probably won't see you very often either. She goes over to Felix and links arms with him. And Glister's just like, oh, whatever, I don't even care anyway. And she just huffs, and she's like, yeah, as long as we can get out of here quick. Hurley's like, dumpty-dumpty-dump, ready to go. Skek's obviously like, wow, geez, I wonder how long the time has passed since, I don't even want to think about it. Because Skek got considerably older as well.
Oh, hey, Skek, I got you this in the 5th session.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's this, it's a little wine tassel of a sprite.
Oh,
my
that's
God.
cool! hey, I could get a bottle of Witchlight wine now. I'm like, old enough. Oh yeah, that's the first thing we do when we get back. Witchlight wine, and maybe I won't even need the wine stopper because yeah, it's gonna be flowing all night when we party, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Holland, you check your pockets and you found that like several bottles of like brandy and other alcohol have been magically teleported into your pockets with just a little note on, but just a little love heart from Baba Yaga. From Nanny.
Oh,
Baba Yaga gave me loads of alcohol. I announced to the group.
There's a pipe as well with a bit of weed in it.
And some powder.
So, hey!
Do we know what weed is here?
Some herbs and spices, like what Gandalf would do. Yeah.
And some Gandalf smoke.
Legit, you're gonna have a fucking party later. But anyway, Motherhorn, you've got everyone together. Fucking, I'll tell you now. But there's one person who hasn't quite been reunited. Oh, by the way, everyone's here, like fucking Mr. Witch, Mr. Light, fucking all them. Ooglay's here. Oh yeah, Ooglay cantered with glee when you're reuniting with him. Let's have a look here. Where is bloody Agden gone?
He cantered with glee. That's so unlike him.
Hey, I can't find fucking Agden Longscarf,
Still
mate.
straight faced, but you
Neither
did.
can I. I'm looking
Likely
around
just-
all for him.
I'm looking around everywhere.
Just nodded.
Oh, I'll find him. I'll find him. I'll just bring him out. And you see, you know, sat in the corner on his lonesome. He does have the joy gun in hand, but he's not been like banging it half as much as he was before. But it's just still like he's actually like curled up on the armchair with his knees up to his chest, just sort of one of his ears flopped down to one side, staring off. Every now and then someone will say something funny and he'll like, but you know, he's only watching.
Are you winning, son?
No, I'm trying to not use
No?
this as much, like you know, everyone told me, but it's hard, innit?
It is. I'm proud of you for not using it, though.
Just wondering
You
when
know-
like the feeling's gonna go away, or maybe it might never go away, and I just have to deal with it.
You know, Agden, Flopsy's going to sit next to him and put his hand on his shoulder. It's a bit of a strange one to think of like this, but we all go through different stages of the play, don't we? And if we don't know what sadness is, then we don't know how great the joy is when we feel that. I think you've had enough sadness for the entire story, though. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he looks down at the joy gun. It's
Then let's start
better
a new
when
chapter.
it's real, innit?
Come on then, Flopsy stands up. You can leave the gun behind. It's not really going to be that much use.
He puts it on the little table and stands up. He like sort of like straightens his trousers up and that. Tries to look ready for the world.
I have a surprise for you, but I think the surprise speaks better for itself.
All right. He comes along like passing through everyone, a bit of confusion on him.
I can't remember how to get there, so I'm going this way, and I think it's the right way.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just drag down. Ooh, stretchy Agden. Hey, it's faster
My
than the
favourite
speed of
bit ever.
light. Hey,
He actually leads you there,
Hey.
even though you're leading him.
the world's fastest Harengon, slowed by grief, enters the room. And when you walk in, just like the pristine Snow White at the end of Snow White, the film, I'm telling you, she's led there. Her once decomposed body, now plumped back up again, almost fresh in the fur, like a brand new, perfect woman laying there. She does have the sheet over her still, like the first half of it. You can still see like her face and everything. But there is quite an acrid stench of Molliver's body here. Agden sort of like puts his hand to his face and he looks at you and he says, I don't think I really want to do this. I don't know what you're trying to... Maybe you're trying to make me face something or something, but... I think this is...
you've faced enough.
Yeah.
Just close your eyes for a second. Flopsy will walk down here. He'll hold his hand up and squeeze his fingers as if he's squirting an air freshener and just press to digitate the smell a bit better in the room.
Nice.
And he'll walk over to Jebik and pull the whatever's covering her shroud or blanket or whatever off of her face.
She's full body.
Yeah, she's like perfectly. She's like when you do, she's perfectly plump, like her clothes are perfect. Not a scratch on her. And she's got a soft breath that rises and falls. You see her little whiskers twitch every now and then, a little nose just twiddling. With like a little dream.
Behind Agden. Now, if this were a play, it'd probably be something cheesy like True Love's First Kiss that does something. I'm going to turn Agden around so he's facing where Jebik is. Surprise.
He looks over at her. And like seeing a full, unmarred body, he just like stares and walks towards her. And like sort of raises both his hands as if to scoop her up, but doesn't quite make it. He just like, it's like, what is this before me sort of arms. Slightly like reaches forward to like touch a hand that's resting on her chest, and his head just flicks back to you, and he goes, "She's breathing." He looks back down at her. Flopsy, she's breathing. And like his head gets a little closer to her as he takes his little paw and just like puts it on her forehead, like in between her eyebrows, and just like pushes one long stroke over the top of her forehead, and then like into her hair, like her fur, like at the top of her head, between her ears, and the thumb follows as well, giving a little soft touch on the eyebrow, and her eyelashes flicker open, and she looks at Agden and she smiles, and she does a big stretch. And she goes, "Oh, Agden, I had the most wonderful dream." And Agden just looks down at her like, and just leans in and just hugs her. And as he hugs her, he starts to let out this like cry into her. She's like, "What's wrong?" And looks around the room. Did something happen? And Agden's like, it doesn't matter, you're back, it's fine. And she's like, back? And then, like, you could possibly leave them to have their, like, explanation conversation.
I'll leave the two crazy kids alone.
Yeah. Yeah, all you hear...
Explain it in characters, Agden, please.
Yeah. As you sort of leave, you just hear him being like, no, it doesn't matter, nothing, you know what I mean? That kind of, yes, you're back sort of vibe. Yeah, and you make it back up there.
She comes back a bit wet-eyed.
Yeah.
Should have wished to have his fur back.
Bless those bastards! I'm telling you now, bless them. Oh, bless.
What a turnaround for Agden.
Agden.
Gone through them all.
Yes. Oh, and it's so much of everyone's influence too. Bless. Ah. Right. Well, what's next on the agenda? I'll tell you now.
I feel like I wasted my wish. I should have wished to know what the hell Dodgy Mo is.
And speaking of, Dodgy Mo is actually around. Like, he has been following you around, you know what I'm saying? He is here. He's with you. He's travelling along with you as
He's gonna show up.
you consider your next order of business, which is in thither. By the way, we don't have a hither section, so don't worry about, oh god, we've got another section to get through, or anything, because there's nothing in hither that you need to return to. So the next thing will be...
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, we're going to nip back to thither, so we'll do a lot of, like, little montage bamfing now. Obviously, you go to the Little Oak to pick up Star, Durlagron. Imagine that when you're bamfing Felix, you're bamfing everyone. Like, you're bamfing Glister, fucking Burley, whatever it's called. You know what I mean? Like, everyone in rows are just like, right, bam, 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 let's go. So everyone's coming with...
Bamf us everywhere.
Literally. So you pick
Just
up
'cause Felix
Star.
stops for a smoke break after each spam.
Yeah, you pick up Star, you go to Zabilna's home, where you do discover, actually, I'm obviously just going to give you end, like, this is like epilogue stuff for each section, if you know what I'm saying. You get there and you discover that that Milo was missing, like the child that was there has gone missing. They're all quite concerned, and like that's been the drama of the Zabilna's home area for quite a while. But when you arrive and you see him there, obviously you would explain the situation and everything, and then it'd all chill out. But you also get Pud, the Harengon girl who you saved from Scabatha's, comes up to Holland with a little orange cardigan that she's made for him.
Oh,
So she gives him that, and she says,
I believe I did a painting in return quite a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give that to her as well.
Nice. You do a bit of gift exchange. Everyone's happy. Everyone's relieved that obviously they don't have a missing child crisis going on. And that sort of, we move through that. Do you want to go to the Werewood Pool? Because then we've got Mint Muse after that.
Is Wayward the unicorns?
Unicorns.
Yeah, why not?
Let's have a little look at the Werewood Pool for a moment. I don't know what fucking
Archie can
tokens
announce
are on
his
here.
reign.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, there better be 2 unicorns.
Hey.
Get it, Rain?
Only
Rain.
0 unicorns.
The 0 unicorns, jeez.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Who the fuck's that?
Who the fuck is that?
God.
Wait, that clap applause wrong. Right. Just pretend you're all here, right? Or just put yourself on the map if you so need to, because it's...
I'm on the map 3 times for me.
Hey! Wow. Jeez Louise.
3 bloody Hollands.
Right, let me get thither.
That's 3 too many. Whoa!
I'll pin myself for a minute.
Oof. Well.
So the last thing that's happened
is
is Jabek's just come back alive and fucking... Now you're off to thither.
I don't enjoy being the main mode of transport.
Yeah,
I
to
know how
think.
Holland feel.
Yeah. I carried you everywhere, and now you're carrying everyone everywhere.
Ridiculous. At least I'm not walking.
It's all
That's
coming
nice.
full circle.
I'll tell you what, I guess you have something in common with the unicorns.
Oh my gosh, they're materializing.
Oh, they are! And they're so beautiful.
Just wait till that island's full of them. There'll be, hoof-to-tail unicorns. Whatever.
Right. The little unicorn calves. Maybe Eladonna and Delmorna will have a baby.
Hey.
What are we talking about? I was just peeing behind a bush. Sorry.
Whoa.
Lamorna and Eldon are gonna breed.
What?
Breed?
Breed?
Flopsy's eyes go large.
Hey!
The awooga sound comes out.
Right, his eyes pop out.
They're not going to do it in front of us, are they?
We'll see.
Or maybe we won't. It just depends, really.
Archie will probably see it at some point if she's like living here full time.
Hey.
These perceptive eyes are a blessing and a curse.
Okay.
Did you have to see Flopsy peeing too, or?
I didn't want to talk about it.
I thought I went behind quite a big bush.
Yeah, they can see around the corner.
Oh dear.
Alright. So, Here we bloody go. So you bound all the way to bloody, what's it? The Wayward Pool. And, as soon as you arrive in thither, you can already see the influence and effect that the growth of goodness is having on this place. The hag's influence is just fading away and being replenished by just luscious greenery and like fucking flowers that you've never even seen before, like in the undergrowth, just fucking spilling out of every corner of the forest and spread out along the horizon. The fucking sun glistens over this lake, well, this pool or whatever, and as that fucking sunset glows upon this island, you see the shimmering outlines of two full, living unicorns clop out of the fucking pixels of the sky. And Lamona goes, "Oh, Archie!" And she comes over towards you.
Oh, hi, Lamorna.
Hello! She's really, really happy to see you. Elidon's, like, striding gracefully behind. She says, look what's happened! She, like,
I know.
yeah. Go on.
Well, I gave you my word. I'd, make it all right. And I'll tell you what, everything seems just all right. And hey, Eladon, I forgot you had such like a nice goatee.
Elidon's like, "Oh, thank you," and just gives his mane a shake. Yeah. Lamona comes down and she's like, "That was you?" And she looks really surprised, like as if keeping two words like the best thing ever.
Well, I mean, it was all of us. We got Zabelna back, and she gave us all wishes, and I wished that Eladon would be back to his Eladon-y self.
She just like rears her head back and she's like, "Oh, happy day!" And she does a little clip clop, like little dance in the water. And she says, "Oh well, I think we should do something special for you."
Well, I've got some good news. I am now officially a knight of the Wayward Pool.
She like looks really surprised and she's like, "Oh, what's that?"
I don't know. I guess I'm kind of like a knight. I look after the Wayward Pool, make sure no like bad guys get in.
Yeah, Octavia's just like, "Yeah, he's gonna look after you like real good."
Right, and maybe you could help us by like, we were thinking of like having like a house nearby, and like maybe like with indoor plumbing, and a bath. Maybe Octavia can give you the exact blueprint so you don't mind what the house looks like.
Yeah. Octavia goes and like sort of starts talking to Lamona as Lamona's nodding and everything. And whilst they're talking, Eladon just comes over and he's like, "Thank you for that. It wasn't very pleasant being beneath Scabatha's undercarriage."
Oh, I can imagine.
No.
No. I bet it was pretty like smelly. But hey, it's nothing a bath or two in the Wayward Pool can't fix.
I've been soaking myself ever since.
Oh, bless you. And hey, well, Zabelna was talking about getting some more unicorns in. So maybe you'll have like buddies.
Or maybe children.
Really?
Oh yes, I'd love to.
Oh, that's so great.
He smiles at that. He looks over lovingly at Lamona, and obviously looking at Octavia, who's just like really detailed, being like, "It needs to be like this, and this, and everything." And Lamona's there like, and then she like stops for a minute, and then she gets into like a power pose, like with her hooves sort of like slightly apart, like, huh. And then she goes, She goes, okay, I'm ready. And she just like flings her head towards the fucking shoreline. A fucking horn just like beams like a white solid laser beam, like, and it just blasts against the fucking shoreline, and a full house with like a rope swing and like loads of other shit, like a fucking, it's got like an infinity pool that like leans off the edge and like falls into the wayward pool on it, like a proper modern looking house too. Like, you know what I mean? There's a bouncy castle in the yard though, and yeah, literally fucking Kay just has a fucking 3D printing a house with a horn like and then she's like, and she looks at you and she's like, done. And you look over at it, Octavia looks over at it and she's like, wow. And there's also like an incorporation of like tree branches and bark like up the sides of it and everything, like as though it's been held sort of like a modern twist on a tree house. So there's all that kind of like vibe to it as well. Like, and since it gets now attached to the Forest of Thither, the Forest of Thither then climb up it too and like enshroud it a little bit in its like establishment in Thither. But yeah. And Lamorna just looks proud, does a little tippy taps, and then a little whinny. And Eladon's like,
Archie does a autism tippy tap. And a little squeal.
Eladon's like, Lamorna, I was just wondering if you would be interested in perhaps making more unicorns. In other words, having little children unicorns. And Lamorna's like, oh yes, I love that. And she canters around a little bit. And she's like, but how do we do that? And then Eladon's like, I don't know. I think we need to ask Zybilna. Thank you anyway. He turns back to you, gives you a big graceful nod. Any last words for Lamorna and Eladon, anybody?
Love you guys.
And she's just like, oh, see you later. And they're all like waving at you, like you're gonna be like a godparent to these fucking unicorn children. Yeah.
Oh.
And then you're gonna make your way to. I'll tell you this, I'm just gonna put y'all on the Thither map because Mint Muse has no map.
Never had a map.
Never had a map.
Mince Muse.
Just gonna shove you there. Right where you'd. Oh wait, hang on. Whoa, bloody Nora. I'll be amongst yourselves for a minute, please.
Well, I guess we never got to saw them breed.
I'm kind of glad about that, to be honest.
Right, I'll try and grab you all together.
To each their own. No, Archie doesn't say that.
Hey. And yeah, you can bamf pretty much straight to Mint Muse. And whew, I'll tell you this for the price of fish. Mint Muse. Just down Lavender Lane. Mint Muse. The quaint little countryside looking, rolling hills looking town. Little crates of carrots knocking about the place. Low stone dry walls. It truly is a Yorkshire vibe in Mint Muse. And my goodness me, is the carnage that was caused by the previous Redcap invasion now being fixed and then some. Oh, it looks beautiful. However, the houses all seem rather bare. It kind of looks a little bit like some sort of show village, that everything's placed exactly precariously where it would be. The trowel perched ever so nicely next to a watering can near someone's back door, and it's all too perfect. You walk through it all. The stalls that are there are all set up. All of the stuff's there. You see one Harengon fella walking down a hill. He comes, grabs like an apple or something, leaves some fucking, I don't know, something else to exchange, a little bit of pocket fluff on the side, takes his carrot, chomps it, and he walks back up the hill again. And you're thinking, fucking hell, where is everyone? You get up to that hill, and you see a shimmering celestial door in front of you. And when you open it, you're just met with an absolute bustling scene of literally every single person from Mint Muse all running around the interior of Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion where you left these guys before, right? You see all the kids are running around, like some are playing with toys in the landing. There's like people are all having dinner at different times. You see everyone seems to just have made their home here. Kind of some of them, you notice, have overindulged a little bit with many of the treats that the mansion has to offer. You see that there's one guy walking around in a bowling shirt because he's certainly started his own team, you know what I'm saying? And, there's, there's gadgets and gizmos aplenty. There's fucking candy floss everywhere.
I might never leave.
Yeah. And it's all a bit chaotic. It's all a bit unmanaged. It's all a bit like everyone's just indulging in here and there.
Just a holiday.
But at the very tippity top of it all, you see, standing with 2 feet, jumping up onto the fucking staircase railing that looks down upon your entrance in the foyer, you see a bit taller, a bit leaner, a bit slimmer, a bit more teenager looking, maybe later, maybe a 20-odd-year-old looking Harengon with a top hat on. No, a bowler. Is it a top hat or a bowler hat? It's a bowler hat on. And a magenta bowler hat. And he looks down and he's got like a little staff in his hand. Like a little boop stick, you know what I'm saying? Like a scepter. And he goes, "Welcome!" And he looks down at you and he's about to say like 2 whatever the fuck this is that is made. And he just drops the scepter. The scepter just goes flying from the first floor down onto the fucking marble floor. And he grabs onto that railing, throws his entire body down the stairs, and he's like, "Flopsy!" And he gives you a massive hug. And it's...
Flopsy knocks on the door before walking in, and then goes and gets...
Yeah, of course. You just mid-knock as he just bounds straight into your arms. Yeah, and he's much taller. He's like... He looks like he's about 19, 20. And he's like, "Wow, I've been up to so much stuff. I've done everything. You know when you said be that?
Everything.
Yeah, you said take this. You'll be the guy." And I thought, yep, if Flopsy can do it, then so can I. I'm the guy. I'm doing it. See?
And everyone's been okay?
Absolutely. And he like looks around, and everyone's like, it's a shithole. Like it's a mess. Everyone's like, literally like. Sure, they'll make Muse look nice, but it's majority because they've just put it there and left it there. Like they thought, right, let's fucking sort that place out so we're not like, our traditions and our fucking lineages and our memories are all preserved, but this house is fair good though, isn't it? Let's all stay here. And in it, so you can see that on his face he's like hepped up with sugar. You know what I mean? Like he's still like acting like a kid even though he's got a bit older. And he looks like he's tweaking a little bit. But it's like, I did it! I'm the guy! Look, everyone's thoroughly entertained!
Well, I don't know if I would have been able to do something as large scale as this. You're definitely the guy.
Mm. Yeah, and he goes, that candy and sweets and that, it just replenishes every day. So, yeah, you can tell that he's got like, he took the role a bit too intensely.
I feel like there should be something wise for me to say about not having too many sweets and candies in one day, but Flopsy just like moves his hand to the side, picks up like a candy necklace and starts chewing on it. I don't really think I'm the type of person to say that.
He's just tweaking and he's like, yeah. As you do look around though, you see your parents come through sort of like middle doors. They've been in the lounge chilling. They come in and...
As Flopsy turns to the side to look at them, he's got his bonk stick out. He's wearing the witch hat, so he looks like a weird-ass version of Bopsy. As they both turn at the same time.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. This is like that slow turn. And Topsy, you see both of them. Well, both of them looking quite a bit older, actually. You see, your dad's got a bit of like grey in his beard. You know, he used to look like your age, and now he's got like a bit of more of a wiry, tough likeness to his fur, a little bit patchy in places. Tireder eyes. And your mum too. She's got a bit more sort of like her movements aren't as solid, like as fluid as they used to be. Slowly reaching for things and all that kind of thing. And your dad comes out and he's like, Flopsy, I'm glad you're back. Is it over now? Are you back for good?
There's still a couple of things that I need to round off, but
your mum's already like not waited for you to finish talking, and she's already come over and she's like hugging your face and kissing your cheek, like, oh, we have missed you.
I've missed you guys too. I didn't think that I'd been gone so long. It seems like every time I blink, everybody adds years to themselves.
He goes, yes, time does work in very funny ways. And he looks at the age difference between you and Bopsy. Strange that he seems to be catching you up. You see that when you look around and everything, you'd see that Wopsy is knocking about. Wopsy's knocking about, sort of barging around the Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion. Sort of barging around in there, acting like some sort of police officer of this new community. Sort of writing little children when they're doing something wrong, like someone's swinging from a chandelier and she's like picks them up from it and everything. You see that she's taken that sort of like fighting or like police authority role quite seriously, but she looks to be a similar age to Bopsy. But you notice that spinning around in circles with a little pink dress on is Hopsy. And it seems that she's stayed a little bit younger. And she seems to be just off in her own world, just really indulging in like a little dancing things she's doing. Obviously a little curiosity. Obviously when they all spot you, they're gonna come and obviously say hello to you and everything and hug you and all that lot. But that's the kind of vibe of them all.
Yeah. Flopsy's like hugging them all back, and it's not going to be long before I'm back again, and we don't need to stay hiding anymore. The entirety of Prismere is right outside the door, and it's just as safe as it ever could have been.
He looks at it and he smiles and he's like, I knew you'd do it. I knew it. You're my son. And nothing stops the Poos family, that's for sure. Yeah, he winks at you, but it's a very like old dadly wink.
Oh, that's like the first time Flopsy's had a dad wink in 30 odd years.
Aww.
And he's never given one.
He pats you on the shoulder. And he gives you this really loving hug. And then he turns and whispers in your ear and he goes, thank God you're back, because Bopsy's just going insane. We need something done about this, because he thinks that he's doing a really good job, but sometimes it's a bit too much.
I have a plan to maybe calm him down.
Excellent. And as he pulls away, you notice your mum's gone up to Milo, and she's like squeezing his little cheeks, and she's like, "Oh, so aren't you lovely?" And they're like just giving him a little like scruffle on the head. She looks up and she's still looking at me. And she's like, do you want some porridge? And she just goes and grabs some food for him. Clapperclaw is, he's like, yep, I'm gonna go into the kitchen. I'm gonna buy. He just literally walks straight to that dining room where all the other shit were before. The fucking hams, the sweet corns, the fucking candy galore. He's just scranning it all up as he makes his way round the table, following fucking Mrs. Lapoose to the little porridge station. He's already full by the time he gets to the porridge, but he still eats that porridge. Oh, Telling you
Oh,
now.
is it the salty type or the sugary type?
It's the sugary type, and he laps it up. But she just cut back and she's like, "So who's this little guy?"
Well, I'm glad you're already getting along, because unless there's anywhere else that he wants to stay, he's kind of out of place at the minute. So I thought, if he wants to, of course,
Oh yes, I could
that
definitely. Yes, I'd love to keep him here. I would have to make sure he doesn't get into any trouble. And she like looks at him and then looks at Wopsy, and Wopsy like puts her own fist in her, like douche, like. But then Mopsy smirks and sort of like elbows him a little bit to be like kidding. But yeah, Clapperclaw just sort of like looks over at you guys, and he's like, "Really? But I thought you wanted me to come with you."
Well, as far as I'm concerned, this life isn't quite for me. I'll be honest. I've had as much adventure and seen as many places as I think I need to see over the last, well, forever, to be honest. So I still want you to come with me, but everything's been leading me back home.
So you're staying here?
Yes.
Well, what about you, Holland, and Archie and Felix and Gleam and Octavia and everyone and Ugle? Are we not gonna be together anymore?
It sure does sound that way.
Well, where are you going? I can come with you.
I'm going back to the carnival, I guess. But a carnival's no place for a kid to grow up. And he like winks at Flopsy.
Aw.
But I'd love to go to a carnival. I love carnivals.
Flopsy will have to bring you on a day out then.
Wait, you're really not letting... Wait, am I really not coming with you?
I'm not gonna, force you to stay here, but you deserve a normal childhood with normalish people, and I don't know. I don't think I can give you that all by myself. Here, you'll have so many friends. And I'll visit. I'll visit all the time.
Well, what if when you go back there, when I'll be really like, I might get really old and I have to wait for a long time to see you again.
Well, I'll just... I don't know. Maybe by then Felix will have also learned how to travel through time, and I'll be able to bam like right back to like a year later or something.
You promise?
Me and Felix promise.
All right. He's gonna hug you really, really tightly.
Same.
And he's gonna like snot a little bit on you from crying.
Mm.
And
I'm like hugging him, but I'm looking over at Flopsy, like, because I think this is the first time he said he's definitely staying here. So he's kind of absorbing that information.
What a fucking sight!
Holland's eyes.
Yeah. Go on.
Right.
Oh,
Andrew.
I wasn't actually going to say anything to Holland. It was more of a silent look.
Well, Holland will just sort of like guide Clapperclaw back to Flopsy's mum and go over to Flopsy.
Yeah.
So
Hey, champ.
you're never gonna complete your first day as manager.
I think I've taken too long of a break for Witch and Light to forgive me. I've been thinking of this for a while. I just didn't really know what I was going to do until I saw it all again. I want to finish everything that we need to finish, but this is where I should be. And
I
as
get
much
it.
as I'd love to see all of you carry on and do what you're going to do, but Holland, there's so much more for you to see. I don't know what you're going to do, but I know it's going to be something amazing.
I'll send you
You only-
postcards to read in your mansion.
I'll write back. I have
You
no idea
better.
where I'm going to send them, but they'll be written.
Felix will get them to you. I can promise you that.
Why do I
Hey.
keep getting dragged into promises?
Hey.
Hey, I carried you everywhere. You can at least deliver my mail.
Fine.
I mean, I think Lyra told me the moment we stepped through that portal that nothing. We were never gonna go back to the way things were. But it's still making me sad. I'm gonna miss you.
This is the decision that seems to make the most sense, but it is the hardest thing that I've had to decide on before.
That is usually what makes it right, huh?
I suppose so. I can't really imagine what it's going to be like not waking up and trying to find where the hell you've gone in the morning. Trying to get you anywhere on time. Trying to make you eat without dropping it all on your chin. I can't imagine what it's going to be like not seeing you grow up in the day-to-day. But I'm not moving around anywhere. If you become a stranger, then I'll be really cross with you, boy. You can always come and visit.
I'll be back as soon as Felix learns to time travel.
I'll set my watch to it.
Oh.
All right. And Clapperclaw, when your mum asks what his name is, what do you say?
Clapperclaw, as far as I'm aware, I don't think Milo's ever been said to us.
She's like, little Clapperclaw. Pats him on the head again. And he's like, yep, that's my name. And
Milo's literally never been said.
they settle down for a little while. And my, geez Louise. The last place you've got is the carnival. Happy amongst yourselves whilst I get you. So we're going from here to carnival. That's the vibe.
Should we go and collect Natasha before we go to the carnival?
Who?
Zabilna?
Lady Zabilna. Actually sort of jokingly flaunts her role. I guess she's got a badge now. with
Oh,
a unicorn on
yes.
No one knows where she got it from. So bonus.
Oh yeah, it will materialise on you. Actually,
Yeah.
Peach, describe the full fit of what materialises on you for the night of the Wayward Pool.
Oh, let me tell you, because I know this. Right, I'll tell you something. Right, Archie. It is a glorious fit, right? You've got like, kind of like a sort of like plate armor, well fitted. It's entirely made of silver, and it's shimmering. You can see it's got like golden accents on it, and it's like there's a long flowing green cape as to match the gold. And I'll tell you for something. Oh, you were wondering, does it have a helmet? It does, right? A helmet with a unicorn horn on it, because of practicality. How else are you going to get into the Wayward Pool?
Exactly.
And I'll tell you something. A fucking little hole in the helmet to put your ponytail through,
Hey!
which is part of the you literally cannot be a member of the Knights of the Wayward Pool if you do not have a ponytail.
Yes. Oh,
It is a drip.
what a beautiful fit.
And it
Wow.
also glows slightly.
Nice. And I'll tell you now, leaving Clapperclaw behind, you all head off. You say goodbyes, big squeezes, big hugs and cries, and you all materialise at Witchlight Carnival with everything you need, everything you could possibly wish for, all at your fingertips. As soon as you bamf here, there's a feeling of nostalgia, a feeling of homeliness for some, a feeling of, wait, is the carousel playing like da 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 sort of music? And wait, is the bubble pop teapot not on? What the hell? Like, what's going on? It's not full of all of its magic and flying lights and excitement and thrill. It's just kind of like whatever. And you walk in,
Flacco in charge.
and I'm telling you now, at the ticket booth is Thwacko.
Oh, fucking hell.
And he's not fucking dead. He looks considerably older. He looks like he's Nicholas Midnight's age. Around about 80s, maybe even 90s. Huddled over with his fucking pipe in his mouth. You know, his big fat cigar, chewing on it with his brown teeth.
Ew.
Yep. And it's like...
Still kicking?
He's like, well. Look who decided to show up to shift. You're a bit late, don't you know?
Well, we have a note from the boss.
Yeah, Mr. Light immediately pushes past because you've bounced with him too. Yeah, Mr. Light immediately pushes past and he's like, Thacko, these people. Oh, he's like. First of all, you terrible darling. You need to find better shoes. But anyway, this outfit's just anyway. Let us through. We've got more to deal with here. Just stop it, all right? Just stop it. And Thacko, for the first time, you don't really, and probably had never seen Mr. Light berate Thacko, which is, from now, you could probably imagine that he used to all the time. And Thacko has it deep-seated in his mind, and it's the only thing that makes Thacko be like, all right, yeah, shit, sorry. And he scuttles away. Mr. Light bursts through the carnival. He literally starts looking this way and that all over the fucking thing. He's like, oh, what have they done? It's just terrible. It's awful. And he's just flouncing around there. Mr. Witch is like, all right, calm down. We just need to find... He turns around and he's like, what's her name?
Octavia?
Isn't that her? He points at Octavia.
Oh, we found
Oh,
her.
yeah. Right.
Who's got this place now? I don't really ain't been following it.
It's all day.
Right. Oh yeah. Of course. He's like, he's stressed out. He's trying to keep a handle on Mr. Light, who's just, he's just sprinting up and down the place, inspecting things.
The Witchlight Carnival.
It's like when you leave your bedroom or something, and like for a bit, like you go out for like a sleepover, and you know your fucking sibling has like messed with your shit, so you run back into your bedroom like, what has changed? You know what I mean? Like that's the energy he's giving off. And yeah, Mr. Witch's brain is scattered, like he's just trying to like keep a handle on him. But yeah, he's like, oh duh, yeah, of course. Won't be easy, which is just swap back. And he's gonna fucking, where is he? I want to put him on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's see what these do.
Where the fuck are they? RP amongst yourselves in the carousel, in the carnival.
Well, I'm gonna get Star back to his mom because he keeps like scratching me in my arms because I'm holding him, I guess.
You can't put him down, you know.
No.
Oh, he glares already there. Yeah. Running around. They're gonna like sprint off straight away to the staffing area. And as you're sort of coming through, hang on. You notice obviously there are a few things. I'd say you might like visit Durlagron real quick because she's right there and drop off Star. Obviously, she would like, you know, prance about with glee. She's been depressed this whole time, and now she's like a young little kitten again, as she dances around with her own little kitten Star.
Not a day older.
I'm just going to give you a little tour of the carnival in epilogue mode, if you don't mind. You travel over to the dragon rides. You see Northwind sort of sat with his roots sort of dangling into the water, sort of like wiggling his feet. There aren't like any guests here. Like there's like a couple, you know what I mean, knocking about, but it's just become a bit depressed and sort of whatever. And you see that no squirrel flutters about his person anymore. He is just alone. You make it round to see Diana Cloppington at the carousel, who is now fully human. And yeah. But you don't see her horse with her. The implication of that is obviously when the correct hag was killed, the curse was lifted from her. She would then split between herself and a horse again. They would turn into separate entities because that's what happened. Is she was cursed to be combined with her horse. But you'd expect the horse to be there. It's not. Too much time has passed. But she looks sort of more content with herself and than before. Over in the feast and you see a much older Winston.
So much more handsome Winston even.
Yeah, he's was rather than being like in his like early 20s, he's like in his 40s now, ish.
He looks maxing.
And you see that he is just sort of like got the big flopsy turvy cupcakery sign, and he's just like giving it a casual dust every now and then, like while trying to make everyone happy, even though the crapness of the carnival at this point is just some of the guests are complaining, you know what I mean, and he's trying to like keep up with it all and stuff like that. But you can see that he's really doing his best to please. Over at the Swandler area, you see the Silversong Lake. You see Candlefoot's just having a little normal conversation with this much younger looking half human, half mermaid child. Who's sort of like dipping in and out of the water, and he's like giving her a thumbs up, and she'll do like a back flip or whatever, and then he's like giving it like scorings out of 10 on his fingers and stuff, while Palasha's like swimming around and practicing her singing. So you can see this. It's not a child though; she's like 20. Is this younger mermaid? Them two look a little bit older as well. in the fucking Pixie Kingdom. My. All the pixies are getting fucked up on Witchlight wine. As Jeremy fucking Plum is like,
I'm Jeremy Plum.
he's like, fuck the snail racing, I can't be arsed. And yeah, everyone's just a bit lazy. The Hall of Illusions hums menacingly, and as you come round full circle, you get to the staff area where you can hear, "This is my fucking carnival," and she's like, "I don't even want it. I've never fucking wanted it." And he's like, "Well, we can switch back now then." And she's like, "Oh," and then I have to go back to the fucking Shadowfell carnival. This is how it works. And he's like, "Listen, I don't care what you do or where you go. I want my carnival back." And she's like, "Take it. It's yours. I don't give a shit." And they're having an argument.
Nothing. They both want the same thing.
Yeah, literally. It's because he's come in being like, "Fucking give it here." You see when you walk in through the bushes that move apart. When you walk in, you see Mr. Witch is just holding his forehead, like, "Oh my god, stop!" Like, it all makes sense. It's fine. And Mr. Light's like mid a fist raise because she's also like grabbing his shirt like mid fist raise. And he looks and he's like, "Oh, fine," and he plunks down. And she.
Why is there two of me all of a sudden?
Oh, fucking no idea.
That solves all our problems. One Flopsy can go back to Mint Muse and one can stay with us.
Hey.
Oh, Flopsy, have you been drinking that Witchlight wine? I can see two of you.
I think I may have got a contact high from the Witchlight wine. Anyway,
Flopsy
You're
can
drunk,
drink from the
so-
wine, so Archie can see too.
That's what the wine does.
She's like, "Right, what's going on?" When you all come in.
As we walk in, Flopsy looks at Burley and was like, "Burley, surprise for you. We've got a situation to deal with.
Hey,
Have fun."
Hurley pops into the picture and he's like, "Way!" And they're like, "Way!" And they hug. And then it's all is done. But yeah.
Now, what actually is the problem here?
Mr. Light says, "I
I'm
want my
talking to
carnival."
you guys, not,
All right. You talking to who?
to Light Witch and Isolde.
Yeah. He goes, "I want my carnival back. I want my carnival back." And she's just like, "You can have your carnival back. I don't want it."
Well,
And-
there you go. There's no problem then.
Fine. And he just pushes straight past her, and he goes straight into the fucking the main like caravan, and he's like, "Oh, it's a shithole in here." And, like, he just like starts throwing shit out, like fucking loads of different stuff out. A flaming sword goes by, just boom, you know what I mean? And she's like, "That's mine," and picks it up, and she's like, "Whatever." And then she comes over to you, and she's like, "Am I free? Am I free now? Can I just leave?"
Well, you don't have to stay here. Oh, sorry, Holland.
Oh, yeah, I mean, all the hex are, like, dead and stuff, and Tash is cool now, so, you know.
Tasha, cool.
Well, I mean, obviously you're free to go. You don't have to stay, but I think she wants to apologize to you.
I don't want to speak
And
to her.
just- Yeah, you don't have to. But I think she's being heartfelt, and I think that all she wants to do is apologize, and that's it.
She just like does like one of them like and rolls her eyes. And she's like, "I think I'm well within my rights to never want to see that bitch again." Like,
Archie just
ever.
nods. Archie gets it.
Yeah, legit. She's like,
and Archie doesn't like block her or anything. Like, you can see there's this massive like she's only come to her side.
she's like, "So is this all a big ploy? Just for like, oh, you'll unshackle me from where I've been contained, and then that's the new thing she's trying to do to prove that she's good now."
No, she's not said I have to do anything. She just sort of showed interest in wanting to do that. But you know, you can go.
I will.
Go ahead. Enjoy your freedom.
Alright, what plane are we on?
Good question.
The carnival one.
The carnival is currently on. Would currently be on it'll be on a different plane. She just says...
It's in the infernal plane.
She says, well, she goes, well, she killed all of my friends, so I guess I can just go off on my own like a lone wolf. How about that? She picks up the fucking flaming sword, and she's like, see ya. And also, don't trust anyone. And she just fucks off.
Well,
I don't know about all that.
She seemed friendly.
Tasha, I presume you're here, or you're not? Where's Tasha?
is she not in that box over there?
Well, that's what I was gonna
My
show
lady! She's crying out, she's banging on the door trying to free her.
She pops into existence, and she's like, oh, I was watching the whole time. She hates me.
Well, that's just how it goes sometimes. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does things that they don't always approve of in the future. Everyone regrets things. And sometimes you just can't make up for them. But, I think maybe you should, write a letter, putting all your feelings and emotions into it. And then, when you've done that, maybe decide if you even need to send it.
She goes, I just wish that she knew I'm really not that person anymore. And she cringes a little at everything that she's done. And she says, I just wish that people will trust me.
What will be, will be. There's, only so far that saying you're trustworthy will go, I guess. Just over time, as you do trustworthy things, you'll be trusted.
She smiles at you, still filled with the joy. And she goes, yeah, you're right. I just need to do something to cheer myself up, maybe. She looks around the whole carnival. And she goes, you know what? I have never been on a single one of these rides. Never.
Well, not to be biased, but the carousel is amazing.
Unicorns on it, right? Does it still have unicorns on it?
Probably.
First unicorn.
Well, that will be my first one. She's gonna go over to the entrance where this carousel is and sort of peer through the archway. You can tell there's this slight look of, if I don't act the way that I have to be as Tasha or I have to be as Igvolve or whatever, if I play and run and jump and yahoo on these horses, what will people think of me? It crosses her mind, and then it gets wiped out by that joy as she just lets loose, runs over, jumps up, grabs one of this poles and spins around it, lands on a horse, and she's like, to the astral plane, and and just spins around on there for a bit, having a grand old time. Yeah. And then obviously after that she'll be running around eating candy floss, getting the bubble pop teapot working up again, drinking wine with the fucking pixies, and yeah, she does all that shit. And whoof, I'll tell you now, for the price of fish, Mr. Light and Mr. Witch come out, and he goes, so I just wanted to ask you if you'd stop meddling with your business in my carnival. And Zybilna's like, you do know that it is my carnival and it belongs to me and I'm in charge of it. And he was like, but you gave it away as a gift or whatever, and that's not means it just means it doesn't belong to you anymore. And Zybilna's like, well, the contract doesn't even exist anymore, so we could just make a brand new one. And she's like, and he says, I only want this carnival as my own, with no weird links to your strange world. I just want it to be mine. I don't want your creepy little sisters things walking around my carnival. And she's like, well, they're dead, but whatever. And she says, you know what, fine, but as long as I can have a lifetime pass. And Mr. Light's just like, fine. And then they sign some contracts to do that.
Archie just like looks over to Zavona like that guy.
And woof, I'll tell you now.
That gives me a bit of an idea, actually. Wait there, everybody. I'll be back in a second. Flopsy's going to run into the staff area and find some bits of paper and ink, scrawl on them and come back. I've got something for everyone. Everyone here, including Clapperclaw, who I thought we left back at my
Oh
mum's
shit,
house.
he's not meant to be there. Yeah, whatever. It were a random child, okay?
Not for you, random child. Carry on. Try the teapot, it's fantastic.
The one child in the carnival.
He's like,
So
I like
child.
cupcakes.
I give him a cupcake and it can have a D10 inspiration.
Hey. He runs off on his way like Jack and the Beanstalk, runs up the lane with his little cupcake.
He nearly trips over, but the inspiration saves him on his dex save.
Excellent.
The present I've got you, it's a promise. not from me, but from each of you. I know I'm not going to see you all as much as I have over the last few weeks, and that is very sad. But here you are. I hand a piece of paper to Archie, and then Gleam, Felix, Octavia running around the circle, and then on Holland. When you turn it over, it just says lifetime pass, and it has Flopsy's fingerprint. Like because his paws don't have fur. He has a clean fingerprint to verify it. I've got a lot of work to do when I get back, but I've got a very big family there to help me. And when I've finished doing what I'm going to do, all of you can come in whenever you want. And I expect it. I expect to see each and every one of you there.
It'd be a shame to let a pass go unvalidated after all.
Exactly. Now, it's not going to be like all of this. It's going to look slightly different. But I've lived a life that I maybe shouldn't have, thanks to her over there, pointing at Zabilna. But it's a life that I wouldn't trade for anything. And I want to bring a part of it back with me, back home. So when I've built my own, I want you all to see it. And that means that I will get to see all of you again. I'm looking particularly at Holland there. Because you've taken the promise already.
Of course.
Well, Archie texts and says, I only live around the corner.
I
I'll be
suppose
using
that
this a
means
lot.
your lifetime pass will be the most stamped.
Right?
Well, is there anything else that we need to do? I feel like we've finally done everything. We've put it all in place.
I mean, that's it, isn't it? I guess it's just goodbyes.
Archie starts to cry.
No.
Octavia holds you while she's crying. Just think about that house with the infinity pool. And the lifetime supply of going to whatever Flopsy's doing.
I know. I wonder what it'll be.
Hey, if you're... I mean, I know you're building something as fun as this carnival. So...
I'd never say that it was as fun as this one, but
That's
it'll be
what I'm
like
here
this
for.
with my own twist.
I'll say it for you.
Well, thank you.
I know what you're capable of. Incredible amounts of fun. So anyway,
They should call you Flopsy.
they would if that was your name.
They would.
Flopsy La Party.
But point being, it's gonna take a lot to build something like that, and well, I think you'll need this. And he's gonna unhook from his neck and put around yours the pendant of Lyra.
Oh.
Holland, I
It's
I
technically
can
yours.
take this.
You made it for me, and I can make my own now. I have my creativity.
I think I do need it. This will be the thing that gets it all done.
Aw.
Can I interest you in a very good thimble that I got from Scabathus? I don't know if we still need to do the trading, do we?
How about you pay me back with a nice, long, at least 30 seconds hug?
30 seconds is quite long. We should probably make it about a minute. Gives you a hug.
Yeah. Aw.
Aww. Oh, bloody
Never
no.
let Flopsy go.
Hey.
What's this? Group hug?
Yeah.
Oh, she
Come on in.
joins in.
Hmm.
Really?
Aw. We all hug.
Aw.
You all have a nice little group hug. Any last words to each other?
Well, I mean, if we're all giving out gifts, here, Archie's gonna give everyone some beanstalk beans.
Hey!
I promised I'd plant these, and well, I guess if we each plant one where we live, it's, you know, it'll connect us in a way.
It gives Felix an easy bamf point each time.
Right? He'll know where to bamf.
Well,
that
that's it.
beanstalk.
We know we'll all see each other with me as your trusty mode of transport, so, you know. But if we're exchanging gifts, I'm sure I have plenty of Chinese 5 spice to give around.
Hey!
He just like gives us each a pinch of it.
In your bare
Pull that
hands.
little bag of Chinese 5 spice for everyone, but
Just
it's like kind of
taps it
stuck
gently into
together with
everyone's
soup that's
palms.
been poured into that bag.
Yes. Oh, the soup. It's covered in soup, yes. It's all like lumpy.
Oh my god.
It's Chinese 5 spice paste.
Oh.
I'm gonna give Archie 50 feet of hempen rope.
All the things I could. Wait a minute.
Maybe you'll learn before I do.
Well, we'll have a little competition every time we meet up. We'll see if either of us have learned to tie our shoelaces. That's why these boots have Velcro on them.
That's why Holland's wearing the Lelly Kellys.
Hey.
Cute as shoes.
Well, you all hold on to each other as though this moment would last an eternity. And we fade off into epilogues. What's Felix up to now? Give us that epilogue, Hallie.
Come on,
Well,
please.
this epilogue is going to be brought to you in the form of, it was initially going to be me listening off Polaroids, right? But they're not Polaroids, they're postcards. You're all going to be getting postcards.
Hey.
And this is the glimpse into Felix and Gleam's adventurous life.
Hey.
You've got some basic ones like Felix and Gleam dancing in a tavern, shit like that. But they gradually get weirder because, like, what else would they be doing? You've got Felix and Gleam befriending some Modrons because that little guy at the start just made me think of that one.
In Mechanus.
Felix and Gleam, yeah, on like some airship in the elemental plane of air. We've got Felix and Gleam somewhere in the hells with Dodgy Mo in the foreground, and literally everything is on fire.
Yes.
Alongside Felix and Gleam running away from an abyssal chicken as Dodgy Mo watches in the background.
Yes.
And then
Greetings from the house.
finally, oh wait, no, there's also Felix falling from an acrobatic swing and Gleam trying to catch him to the bottom.
It's implied that Dodgy Mo's taken all these pictures. Yeah.
But to fade it out, because my epilogue's going to be nice and quick, to fade it out, you've got Felix and Gleam in Disneyland, but in the background there's someone that looks a little bit familiar. It's Al. It gets worse, it progresses, because there's another postcard. Felix and Gleam eating corn dogs in Disneyland. And Al's running towards them. And then the final postcard is like really blurry. Al's like right behind him and Felix is flicking him off and trying to run away with Gleam. That's the final postcard.
Oh my fucking god. Oof. Right. Okay. Archie. What happens to Archie?
My god. Alright, well, I'll tell you. Yeah. I'll tell you. Oh, yeah. Archie plants them seeds, keeps a word. And she, tell you what, she makes many more words and keeps them. Remembering the one time she didn't keep her word and it got a man killed. I'll tell you what, she's doing a good job looking after all these ponies, the uniponies. And I'll tell you for what, you know, she's living life in luxury, you know. It's like, you know, Archie's acting like it's not luxurious or anything. Oh yes, these rustic, humble, you know, swimming in the infinity pool. It's a hard day's swim. You know, like, but you know what? Every so often, you know, she'll go around the house. She'll make a cup of tea from things that she's scavenged in the woods. Peppermint tea.
Nice.
And you know what? She goes into you know, she goes upstairs with a tray. It's got a teapot with peppermint tea in it. 2 little teacups. She walks past the bathroom, looks in there, nods at the bath and its indoor plumbing. True marvel of its time, really.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. You better believe she walks into that bedroom. Who does she see?
Talk louder.
Octavia. Oh, I tell you what.
Yeah.
She walks into the bedroom. She sees Octavia. And a little baby.
Hey!
What? They had a baby?
Oh.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Don't ask how. Probably they asked the owner.
That child grows up playing with the unicorn babies.
Right. And that child was gold. Holland Jr.
Hey. Aww.
And
That's cute.
That's what happens with these guys.
Alright.
And they're in love forever.
Oh, beautiful. Holland.
Oof. Listen, the thing about Holland, this isn't the end of his story. This is merely the beginning. Oh, Holland, he's gonna, you know, he'll hang around and help Witch and Light get back on their feet and all that. But he'll start, his eyes will start drifting towards the Hall of Illusions, and he thinks about how much he doesn't like sharing a caravan with Ooglay. And he talks to Ooglay and he says, "Look, this. Do you hate this too? Like," and Ooglay's like, "Oh, thank God you said something. I've been wanting to go
Hey.
for ages." So with that, Holland packs up his shit, slaps it on Ooglay's back, takes one last look round the carnival, tips a little wink to the Winston's cupcake stand, and by Jove, he's off. Where to? Who knows?
All right. He wanders off into the newfound legacy of Paladinism and Flopsy.
Sometime later, with some grey speckling in his fur, Flopsy lies down on a bench, his arm draped over the backrest, and his finger is tapping on it rhythmically every second like a metronome. Now, if you were to look closer at the bench, you'd see that it's a memorial bench with names that were lost along the way. Names like Will of the Feywild.
Pete, you're breathing really heavy.
Someone's wind.
Yeah, it's wind. Yep.
Sorry. Names like Will of the Feywild, the Corrids and Brigands that were lost at Motherhorn, and at the very top of the list, right where the story started, Scott and Pip Vexair. Topsy, his father, comes over and says, "It's about time, son." And Flopsy stops tapping his finger, but the metronome tick carries on going as he prestidigitates his pocket watch to ring out as he walks up and starts walking around what he's made with his family. He checks in to make sure that everything's going well as they're setting up Archie's archery range. He walks past Felix and Gleam's Tunnel of Love. He doffs his top hat to the person who's winding up Holland's horse race, a carousel. He walks past Oswald's spinning cogs, which is his interpretation of teacups, and in through the food court, where he walks past Clapperclaw's ham hut, where he sees Clapperclaw not behind the counter, but in front of it, while
it's for him to eat ham.
The fairy woman who is behind there is making a ham sandwich and then hands it to Clapperclaw. So Flopsy goes up and says, "You know, you need to be quick. We're about to open, and you're the first performance." And Clapperclaw tries to mumble something back, but he's got half a ham sandwich stuffed in his mouth. He just picks up his wooden mace, swings it, and runs towards the Agden Longscarf performance stage. Oh, and will you tell Agden, make sure the performance is done in enough time for the Alar dancing competition that starts promptly at 8. He walks past the cotton candy stall, and then past, of course, the cupcake stand, where he's put Bopsy in charge. Significantly less stress. Bopsy looks like he can handle this. Flopsy gives him a smile and walks to the front of the fair, and behind him towers the massive Ferris wheel that sits in the center, so big that it has the sign for the entire fair on it, the Lapousse Family Fun Fair. Everything is dim, none of the lights are on yet. Flopsy looks towards the gates and says to his dad, "Right on time." "Wait 1 second." And he turns back to the cupcake stall, starts running towards it, and Bopsy kind of rolls his eyes, tots, and before Flopsy can even get there to correct it, Bopsy's on top of it. He spins the plate of cupcakes round on the front so that the little spotlight on the desk catches the cupcakes at just the right angle, to make them shine and glimmer. Flopsy looks to him and smiles. It's perfect. He goes back to the middle, raises his hands in the air, lets out a thunderous clap, and with that, the gates open.
And the screen goes black. And some white words start rising up it. And those white words are... Thank you, Nat Wannabes, and thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you to Andrew. Thank you for Peach. Thank you for Hallie. Thank you for Lauren. Special mentions to Declan for being Oswald at the beginning. Thanks to everyone who's been watching, following, everyone who's, you know what I'm saying, been getting invested. Yes, and any new viewers who've just popped in right now, Platinum, sure, you can go back, everything's on YouTube, etc. if you've enjoyed this.
Oh, bless. Imagine
watching the last episode. Yeah. Thanks to Felix, Reddit user, for working on the updated stat blocks. Thanks to David Kahn for the Yon expansion pack, which came in extremely handy. And I will say, thanks Wizard of the Coast for a decent module, but you could have done more.
All insight on these demon babies.
But no, it's been a blast nonetheless. What an excellent 57 episodes, I believe. I'm not sure. But far off in a distant land, in a distant castle, no less, in a distant room, sitting at a table, upon which is a chessboard, a bald man in a robe sits, tapping his fingers, and someone poofs into existence. She's got brown hair. She looks like a little, like halfling or whatever, gnome. She's got a lute. And she goes, phew, I think they've done it. And Morden Kanan looks up and says, oh, thank God for that. I never thought she'd get over it. I'm glad she's over it, though. She's over it, isn't she? Tell me she's over it. And Eliwick Tumblestrom says, oh, yes, I've been watching everything. Everything went perfectly fine. And now she's currently, well, here she is. And she's going to bloom his onto his table a crystal ball. And inside, you see the carousel spinning around with Zabilna with a fucking bit of candy floss in her hand, enjoying her fucking life. Morden Kanan looks down at it, and he just smiles. And whoof, I'll tell you now, that is the end of the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, everybody. And let's all give a special welcome to the club, Andrew, of people who have finished a campaign.
All right.
Hey! There we go. I'm telling you now. Andrew's first campaign completed. Now, woof. I'm not going to go on about Strahd, which is what we're doing next, so I'll just say, what an excellent session. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, our players. What?
I think I have an Easter egg.
Have you got an Easter egg? The last Witchlight Easter egg.
Last Witchlight Easter egg. And I'll tell you something. Here's a bit of a little bit of preamble for the Easter egg, in fact. I didn't know what the Easter egg were going to be until 10 seconds into the bloody stream. Where Jenna was like, well, guys, you can, if you want to know how it all began, you can go back to our video. I'll tell you something. Do we all forget about the secret lost episode?
Oh, yes.
The secret lost first episode of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And I'll tell you what, this story never had a beginning. Sure as heck had an ending. And thank you for watching Nat Wannabes. Make sure you tune in next time for Wild Beyond the Witchlight, Curse of Strahd episode.
Wow.
They'll all be the same characters, just in Strahd.
Yay!
No, hopefully not.
Well, yeah, actually, yeah, tune in to see new fucking character art and shit. Yeah, it's gonna be a new layout and everything. I'm gonna be, we're gonna be having cams on. It's gonna be great. Oh, I can't wait. But anyway, right, blah 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 blah. We did it, guys. We fucking did it. It's done. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Don't forget to send us money.
Yeah, what? Oh my god, stop. Anyway, I'm going to let everyone say bye and I'm not going to cut anyone off this time. Alright, bye. Come on, please.
Bye.
Yes. God.
Bye, everybody.
Do a bye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.